So today we're going to look at a RoboVac. That's a thing that vacuums your house on its own. Why would you need a RoboVac? Well, if you're interested in not doing work, this is the thing that will make your life a little bit easier. I actually bought it at Amazon with my own money, and it's the Eufy RoboVac 30C. It works with Wi-Fi, has super strong power, 1500 PA suction, whatever that means. Intelligent BoostIQ Technology, which is some smart way of cleaning your home. And boundary strips to fence off areas you don't want to be cleaned. So let's open this buddy up and see what we got in the box. Manuals, I usually don't like to read them, but they're fancy. And here we go. This is the main unit. It's taped off a little bit, as you can see. It's a good size. It's about, I'd say, 5 pounds, maybe a little more. It's got this brush wheel underneath. And it comes with these magnetic strips. Okay, those are the boundary strips. Not sure if we're gonna use them. And it has little bristles. There are 4 in the box. Cleaning tool, which is, by the way, amazing to pull out any hair that gets stuck. Some additional filters, some zip ties to tie off some cables on the floor, and this is the actual charging unit. It's got these 2, what I think like electric magnetic areas where you can charge the unit once it docks in there. It comes with a remote, and the great thing is it also has some batteries. Cool. Let's take off the strips. There are a total of 3, and at the front there's a kind of like a bumper. Moves in and out, so assumingly if it hits something, it's gonna soften the blow. You snap in 2 of the bristles, and they turn on their own, and the other 2 are spares. There's an on-off switch, and it already has a little charge. So let's take it to the location where we want it to sit, and it's in the front room. It's recommended that you have an open space like 6 feet to the front and 3 feet to the side. We get some power, put it in there, dock it in there, and it immediately starts charging. While it's doing that, we're going to install the app from Eufy. Easy to find, you just search for Eufy Home. There you go, install it.
You have to program it to do it, right?
Yeah, I don't really know. We're going to figure it out. You're going to install it and type in a password for your account, Apple account. While we do that, we're going to look at some cute dogs.
Look at my foot.
We're done typing in the password. It just uploaded the app, and we're going to open it up. There's some disclaimers and a quick tutorial. Again, I don't really like reading it. I just like doing it. We're going to set up a new account with Eufy. So again, we're going to type in an email and look at docs while that happens. Good. Now we're going to add the device, and this is a RoboVac. So that's what we want to click on. And we're going to allow it to send us notification through the phone. So if it's in trouble somewhere, it can send us a notification through the phone, and we know what's up, even if we're not in the house. We got to go into the settings of the phone. In this case, it's an Apple. And it finds the actual vacuum right there. It's going to connect to it. And we'll go back into the app. Yes, it's connecting. That took quite a bit. So once it's connecting, that flashing blue light of the Wi-Fi system is going to turn into a stable light. There you go. We're ready to go. Well, not quite. We're going to let it sit there and charge for a while. It took about an hour for the charging to be done. And then we can do our first test. So an hour later, it's all blue. Blue indicates it's ready to go. It's fully charged. At this point, it doesn't really know the layout of the room. So it's just going to go somewhere. Look at the dog. Very suspicious. Boom. It's going to hit the water bowl from the dog. That's not good. Maybe we're going to put the electric strip and just tape that area off so that there's no chance for it to actually spill the water and then maybe get in there with the electronics. Alright, so it's going through the room. So remember that bumper that I talked about? Kind of quiet, huh?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Boom. It's just going to hit it there. But these bristles as well serve as some form of sensor. So when it hits something with the bristles, as it's probably going to do right now, it's actually not going to bump into it. I think it sort of makes a map of the room. It has 9 anti-collision infrared sensors that help the RoboVac to avoid bumping into obstacles so it can clean non-stop without help from you. So we just let it run and figure out more of the layout of the entire house. We have about a 1500 square foot home, mostly hardwood floors, but this thing has really good suction of 1500 Pascal units. That's good for medium deep carpets, maybe even deep carpets. It's actually fairly quiet. It sounds a lot louder from the camera mic than it really is. It's 75% more quiet than traditional vacuums. Look here, there's a little elevation. Oh, it took that. Has no problem taking that little ramp. Now it's going over the kitchen tiles and you can hear like a little rattle every time it goes over a groove. But it doesn't seem to distract it or change directions, which is good. And then what I noticed is it started looking for the edges of the room. Ooh, it goes around the corner there. It just stayed next to the floorboard, the footboard, whatever that's called. Then it goes around our fridge and the cabinets and just keeps trying to get around it and make sure that every corner, wow, look at that, is being covered. Like you see it right here. It now ran the entire line of that cabinet / refrigerator.
Wow.
Does a really good job getting into that corner with those bristles. I don't know if it got it entirely, but close enough. And then develop a strategy.
Oh wow, is it underneath?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay, the other thing that I noticed is that it's doing a really good job getting underneath of chairs.
Kind of be stuck there a little.
It's got just the right size and it sort of stays underneath it and tries to figure out to get every corner. Our dogs are obviously a little suspicious of this thing. We're going to see how they're going to handle this in the future. What are you looking at me for, son?
Yes, clean that.
This is now where the real test happens. My teenage daughter, this is actually cleaner than it usually is. But it has this carpet with tassels and it got stuck in there for a second.
He's like having a seizure.
Oh, fixed it. But it found its way out. But this is definitely one of the more challenging parts for a RoboVac. Let's take it a notch up. How is it gonna handle those shoelaces? First try, not bad. Second try, well, it just turned away. That's a good sign. I also put some clothes there. That's a more real life scenario for my daughter to have just stuff on the floor. Oh, there you go. So it pulls on it and it pulls it into its brush wheel there. And now it's stuck. Doesn't know what to do with it. And tries to get away from it. So it must feel at this point some resistance, but I guess not strong enough for it to let go. Okay, it's figuring out, okay, something is holding me back. I need to get rid of it. It's trying different directions. Not working. But that shoe is a real life scenario problem that could happen. And what do you do when you're not there and this happens? Are you now done vacuuming or is it going to keep running like this? Boom. It must have known by now, okay, so there's no way I'm going to get rid of this guy. So I'll just need to stop and sound an alarm. So if you happen to be in the house, you hear it, you now can save it. But if you're not, it also sends you a message through your phone. That's why it's nice to be connected through the Wi-Fi network. So if you're away, my wife could maybe call me and say, come into the house. I usually work in the office, and save the little guy, or it just shuts itself off. But once you've saved it, turn it back on, it's good to go. Alright, that was our first test run. This is day 2. And I want to see how much stuff is already in the container that's inside there. How much dirt has it picked up? And this is a fairly clean house, as you can tell. We just vacuumed everything probably 2 days ago or so. But this guy went everywhere, like underneath beds and so on. Oh, look here, I put the metal strips there, or the magnetic strips, and it went away. It stayed away from the dog bowl. Very good. So here's the container. Easy to open up. Wow, there's a lot of hair. All right, easy to clean out. And then I guess I just brush off these, like this is like a filter. But remember that other filter? Well, it already comes pre-installed with one of these filters, and yeah, there's a little dirt in there. So I could just blow that out, clean it up again, put it back in. Good to go. Boom. Easy to put back. Slides right in, locks. Press the button, good to go. Okay, so what are some of the other things that I wanted to test? Well, I really wanted to see how this thing does underneath our furniture. So this is where we never vacuum, obviously, or like once a year. That's the great thing about having a RoboVac. It fits underneath a lot of our furniture and can just clean this up. And this is where probably a lot of the hair was, or the dust that we usually don't catch. Just taking care, and it's if there's stuff stored underneath, it's trying to run again around the edges and make sure it gets everything. All right, I'm done here. So I want to send it home now manually. I press the button that has kind of the sign of an electric cable, and I'm going to speed this up, but it knows where the docking station is, and it's trying to get there. And it will do that on its own. Like, I don't have to send it. Once it gets close to being drained, it safely makes its way back to the charging station. So this is the Eufy RoboVac 30C. We picked this one over the Rumba because I read a couple of tests, and these tests clearly made this the test winner at its price point. We're very happy with it. I like the sound. I like the cleaning capacity. I love the fact that it runs for 100 minutes. I think the Roomba can't handle this long. It needs to take more breaks in between. I like how smart it is and mostly is able to fend for itself. That's really important. And now it's been a week and we've had it run 3 times. Did a really good job. It got everywhere. It does sort of figure out a way how to cover the entire layout of the home. And finally, what I would say is I was so happy with the purchase that I actually ended up buying a second one, a smaller unit for my office, because my office is only 200 square feet. And I got that as well. I'll include a link for both of them in this video. So if you're interested to find out more details, go ahead, check that out. So you get to enjoy a complete clean of your home on a single charge. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to click the link in the video description to check out the product, and subscribe for more interesting product reviews like this. Thanks for watching.